What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Christ, 3 years running top seller at ShineOn, now head of marketing at ShineOn. And before we get started in today's video, I just wanted to thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. If you like this kind of content, I want you to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I hope you enjoy the video. What is up, everybody? Okay. Now, a lot of what I'm going to cover today, these are things that I've gone over before. So, I highly recommend make sure, like after today, if you have any gaps in your knowledge, search for my name in the sidebar in the Facebook group, because I've made a gajillion videos at this point, and you're surely going to be able to find something to kind of help you get over the hump that you're currently in. One big thing that I really encourage people on, especially when you're new, is you kind of have to learn how to solve your own problems, right? It seems like a small thing, but it's really not. Solve your own problems. This isn't to say there's anything wrong with asking questions at all. However, it is to say that you should really develop the skill of being able to answer your own questions. Keep in mind, this is 2020. We have Google. We have YouTube. There's a million YouTube videos out there on literally any topic you could imagine, including all the stuff that I cover here. You have some very, very high quality YouTube material in the e-commerce space for Facebook ads, pixels, different ad methods, things like that. So seriously, make sure you're utilizing the resources you have at your disposal. If you hit a roadblock, don't let it stop you in your tracks. Another thing I like to use is what I call learning on demand, right? So look, there's different kinds of personalities out there. Everybody kind of gets that. However, it's, some people are more prone to like analysis paralysis. They get stuck in perfectionism. Some people kind of want to know every little thing about something before they proceed. And I'm telling you, like, that's not the most advantageous way to go about this. There's just too much to learn, right? So I'm a big fan of learning on demand, right? Where you kind of go as far as you can until you hit a wall, hit a speed bump, something like that. Then as soon as you hit the speed bump, you try to learn what you need to get over that speed bump. Highly recommend everybody develop these two skill sets. These are very important if you want to succeed in this kind of digital marketing space. Things are changing super fast. And sometimes, especially if you get out there in front, like let's say you hit some winners and you're scaling and all this kind of stuff, if that happens to you, you'll eventually reach a point where no one's going to be able to really answer the problem, give you answers to the problems that you're facing. They're going to be unique to your situation. And if you don't develop these skill sets, you're going to be in big trouble when that time comes. So highly recommend, try to figure this out. Solve your own problems, learn on demand. I think it's very important in digital marketing. All right, let's see. Waiting to show how to get started. We've come to the right place. We are going to get into it. A big part of the, getting started is this stuff I'm talking about here. I know this seems little, but mindset is huge. If you don't figure this out, you can fail at a lot of the other things. Knowing how to run ads is only one part of this business. Roshan, ramping up on time, needed help with it. All right, we're going to get to that. You're going to have to stick through this first part, though, to get the good stuff. Kathleen, I am new and I am excited. For all the new people here, I'd like you to answer this in the chat. How did you hear about ShineOn? What brings you here? What walk of life are you from? I'd really like to know that from you. So please answer that in the chat. Facebook user. Hi, Michael. Can you recommend a go-to resource to start the learning? So the ShineOn group is an incredible resource. You have tons of other, you have a long post history there. Also, you can search for my name in the sidebar. And I've put up, I've been doing these live streams once a week for like 3 months now. So you'll be able to find a ton of content there. The other thing is you can go to our YouTube channel. Somebody may need to post this in the chat. I believe it's youtube.com/C/ShineOnPod. So I'm going to write it here, but somebody double check me on this. Oh, you know what? Silly me. YouTube. Yeah, here it is. Go here. This is an incredible resource, guys. Every time I do one of these live streams, there's someone on my team that goes through the live stream and they chop it all up into different bits and segments and pieces that, the important topics that I cover, and then they upload it on ShineOn's YouTube channel, which you can get to right here. So make sure you go visit our YouTube channel. Okay. This is a great place to get information. So search my name in the sidebar, go to this YouTube channel. Those will get you kind of heading in the right direction. Also, I'll say, being on this particular live stream is going to be important too. All right. Excited to go all in this Q4, which is now dang skippy. This is going to be the biggest Q4 in the history of mankind in terms of sales online. So this is the place to be. Do not sit this one out. The opportunity here is unparalleled. With COVID-19, I'm not exaggerating here. This may be the first time where this Q4 is bigger than next year's Q4 because of COVID-19. So you do not want to miss this opportunity. You do go all in. That's what you want here. All right. Elena is where we heard about ShineOn. Great. So glad to hear that. Thank you, Elena. All right. Do you have any videos about getting better at ROAS with ads, product cost to be profitable? Do you have a method I can guess in my question? Well, the thing is most of it comes down to the product. You can't make a losing product a profitable winner. It's not going to happen. I tell everybody that your skill, so like let's say this is the skill level required to be profitable, and this is how good your product is down here. I tell everybody that these two things are like inversely correlated. Is that the word? Right? So it's like the worse your product is, the more digital marketing skill you need to make sales with it. But the better your product is, the less skill you need on Facebook to be profitable with it. So my advice is work on this, right? You just cannot make a losing product profitable. It's very difficult to do in this business. Hope that helps. So let's talk a little bit about getting started, okay? So I'm going to do my best to draw. I like to draw, but drawing comes with its own set of hurdles here. All right, getting started. So if you are completely new, the number one thing I can advise you to do is start on the ShineOn platform. So I'm going to go to it real quick. This is the ShineOn platform. You can get here by going to ShineOn.com. ShineOn.com, and you're going to want to click this sellers and affiliates button up here in the top right. ShineOn.com, click the seller and affiliates button up here in the top right, and you're going to want to make a new account. So when you get here, click sell on ShineOn.com, the navy blue button, create an account right here. This is where you're going to do most of your selling. Now, let me show you what this is going to let you do. So if I click on one of these products here on our homepage, just going to grab one of these. You're going to be able to upload products, your own products, directly to ShineOn.com. We're going to give you your own ShineOn.com URL. You're going to have your whole dashboard here where you can manage all your ads. So I'm going to log into mine. I'm going to show it to you real quick, give you a little bit of a live demo, but we're going to give you a product page that looks just like this, where people can come. You can drive traffic to this page from Facebook, and people, when they buy this product, the sale will be attributed to you and you'll make money. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I click sellers and affiliates, I'm going to log into my account. So this is my account. This is the dashboard. This is what it's going to look like for you. So you can see today I've had 23 purchases. Those 23 purchases resulted in 29 units. That's $1,400 in revenue, $1,100 in profit. This is all from today, right? You've got these different options here so that you can, look back at your history of sales. I'll go to 7 days. I don't want to go too much further in this. This isn't about showing the numbers to me. I want you to understand the platform here. So this is what the platform looks like. Now, when you're logged into the platform, up here in the top right, you're going to be able to go to add new and then product up here in the top right. And you're going to be able to create a product from anything we have here in this list. We've got some really cool stuff in this list. Okay, so we have this new product that we just released called the Graceful Love Giraffe Necklace. This thing it's a giraffe on a message card. Looks Absolutely beautiful. Let me see if I can get yeah, there we go. Real big, this particular item. I love this item. I think this item is going to absolutely crush it, especially as we move into Q4. It's a huge, huge product. And by the way, if you're new to ShineOn altogether, I suppose I should tell you a little bit more about ShineOn. Every product you see here on our dashboard is a product that we have tested with our own money. We have an entire process that all these products go through. They do not show up in the marketplace until we have tested them and proven that they're winners. So that's big. Another thing is all of these products ship from our factory in the United States. So that means that, once your customer places an order, most of them will ship within 48 hours, within 2 business days, and they're on their way to the customer, and they'll be delivered domestically in the United States within 2 to 5 business days. So your customers will get your orders very quickly after they place it. This is huge, especially right now with Facebook. They're starting to, the feedback score on your Facebook page has become even more important. And when your page scores go down, Facebook will prevent you from advertising. This is a new thing that they're kind of, getting serious about this Q4. And having a print-on-demand supplier that ships high-quality products really fast is going to be in your favor. It's going to help you protect your feedback scores. So all these products ship really fast. The next thing is they are super high quality. We control our entire process from end to end. So I'm saying we have special relationships with our factories where we get these things made. We have them brought into the United States. We perform a very robust QA process on all of our products. And then, we have our own proprietary process that they go through when we print the message cards and all that kind of stuff and get them ready to ship out the door. And again, that shipping is really fast. The other thing that's great about the platform is we do all the customer service for you. So one of the things people don't really think about when they're getting into e-com is, look, if you have your own Shopify store, right? You need to learn how to do branding. You need to learn how to do conversion rate optimization. You need to know how to put trust seals on your website. You've got to know how to write product copy. You have to do CRO on your product page, your add to cart page, and your checkout page. You have to manage the store. So we're talking about the look and feel of the store. You have to worry also about the loading speed, because if it's too slow, then you'll drop people. Not only that, but Facebook will actually penalize you if your website loads too slow. You have all these variables, right? There's like 20 of them the last time I looked at all of them. You have like a bunch of variables you have to master if you want to use the Shopify store. However, if you use the ShineOn platform here, there are really only 2 things you have to worry about. All you really have to worry about is your product, which is really your design, and your ads. That's it. The entire thing gets boiled down to those 2 variables. I mean, I didn't even write them all down on the ShineOn side, or I'm sorry, the Shopify side, but just compare the 2. I've got 6 really big, important ones right here. All of these would require special learning on your part in order to do it well. But on the ShineOn platform, we do all of this for you. We've already done conversion rate optimization on the product page. We've already got the branding kind of figured out. We already have all the right trust elements there, including like reviews and things like that. All of that's built into the platform, where literally all you have to worry about is your product and your ads. That's it. That's the beauty of the platform. The other thing, and I get pretty excited when I start talking about this with the platform, is that I've never seen an opportunity quite like what ShineOn provides in the platform. I mean, understand this. You don't have to have a store. You don't have to manage your own inventory. You don't even have to do customer service. You can literally sell products you've never seen before to people you've never met. And inside of 20 minutes, if you have your design ready, you can launch some ads and get the same distribution as a Target, a Walmart, or a Costco using Facebook ads. So literally, inside the space of a good morning and a single cup of coffee, you can come up with designs. Here, I'll back it up even further. You can create your account, come up with designs, get your URLs, launch your first ads, and potentially get your first sale, right? There has never been an entrepreneurial opportunity like this in the history of the world. And I'm not exaggerating there. This is unparalleled in the history of man. I'm not kidding. I challenge somebody to find me an opportunity with an entrepreneurial opportunity that has this much potential. I seriously don't think that there is one. Okay, I'm going to keep going through these products here. I went off on a little bit of a tangent. Let me check the chat here for questions. All right. Questions are coming in. This is good. Did you do that with Facebook ads? Yes. Facebook ads, and ShineOn also does free retargeting. That's another advantage of the platform. You get free retargeting. A lot of these sales came in through the free retargeting as well. Richard, love that you show the numbers. Kudos. Appreciate that. Yeah, we can sign on to the ShineOn platform with no problem. I'm just starting at the beginning, right? I want to help everybody here. Which product is good for a daughter? The giraffe one is really good for a daughter. And then I also am a big fan of interlocking hearts. Where is my interlocking hearts? This one right here, interlocking hearts. This one here is a really good one. I like it. I'll click into that just so you can see it. You've got these two kind of metal hearts that are they interlock. That's a really good one. And then I also really like Infinity Hearts, which is right next to it. So if I scroll back down, Infinity Hearts is this one right here. Those are my three favorites for daughter right now. Are all the message card variants tested too? Some of the free variants are, but not all of them. Do they ship with USPS? Yeah, I believe we do actually. Yes, we do. Okay. Can we manually place orders on the ShineOn platform, or do we have a Shopify account? No, you can manually place orders on the ShineOn platform. All right, we're going to keep going here. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about our products here. I'll make this relatively quick. Anybody that's new, I want you to have kind of a feeling for the lay of the land here. So we have this giraffe necklace. This is a new release. It came out last week, I believe it was. Super pumped about this one. This is going to be gigantic in the daughter niches. Then we have this cross. I personally know somebody, a friend in real life, that's having a lot of success with the cross. Keep in mind, the Bible is probably the best-selling book in the world or in history. The cross, the Christian niche is gigantic. People like to show their faith. The cross necklace really fits in that niche. Let's look at some others. Love Knot, Alluring Beauty, Forever Love. Those are all amazing in the romance niches. So Love Knot can also work in daughter. This is Love Knot here. It's cubic zirconia with some metal kind of wrapped around. It's pretty cool. Works well in the romance niche. Another one that does really good is Alluring Beauty. Another great one in the romance niche. And then Forever Love. This one obviously does good in the romance niche because it's a heart. So those do good. That's like husband to wife, fiance, boyfriend to girlfriend. All of those do really, really well in. Then you have Sweetest Hearts. This one kind of works in just about any niche at the moment. So it's a hand stamped engraved heart. So when I say hand stamped, I really mean it. I'm talking like Etsy, like we actually hand stamp the initial into these hearts. We don't use machines to do it. That's another cool thing about ShineOn is we offer personalization at scale. We're trying to offer Etsy style personalized products, except at scale for print-on-demand sellers. Anyway, so these are hand stamped. It's really cool. These kind of work in every niche so far. They can work husband to wife. Usually in that scenario, there's a family, so it's like dad to mom kind of thing. And you can get the initials of the kids kind of hand stamped on the hearts. It also works as like to mom type gifts and things like that. So some sellers are still kind of cracking the code on this particular product, but I've seen it work in a lot of different niches. Let's see what else we have. We have the two-sided stick necklace. So we got two-sided engraving on the stick necklace. This was a huge, huge seller last year. I expect it will be too again this year for Q4. And then beyond just the message card products, and I love the message cards just because you have so much room to put your design and your phrase. We're going to get more into how important all that is here in a minute. But we also have our standard graphic pendants. So we have buy or upload products here where you can upload photos to like our dog tag, our hearts. Notice we have bangles and necklaces. A lot of places only have the necklace. We also offer a bangle. I've sold a ton of these freaking bangles, so they do sell really well. We have some keychains. We have more keychains coming out, by the way, so keep your eyes peeled. We've got print-on-demand cross here. Then we have our standard kind of graphic pendants. We got a circle, hearts. Those are bangles and necklaces. And we also have the dog tags as well. So we've got a whole smorgasbord of products here, and we have plenty more to come. I think we have like 5 coming. I look at the product lineup every single week. It's just we're constantly adding stuff to it, so it becomes a little bit of a blur. I'm pretty sure we have like 5 new ones coming before the end of the year, including a handful that are going to make really great pre-purchase upsells. So you're going to be able to increase your average order value when you sell on the platform because we've got some pre-purchase upsells coming. One of those, and I don't really have a image of it here, but it's a luxury mahogany styled wooden box with an LED light in it. So when somebody buys one of these message card items, we're going to say, hey, would you like to upgrade to a mahogany style box? And I've been working with our graphic designers and our UI team, and I've seen what all this looks like. It looks really slick. You're going to be able to upsell a customer on this mahogany style wooden box for, an extra $10, $15, $20. That's just going to increase your AOVs, average order values on the platform. So that's going to be huge. All right, let's check the questions here real quick. Why does the white gold display first and not the yellow? The yellow costs more. We see a higher take rate on the white gold, right? That's why we lead with it. And that's also kind of industry standard for e-com. You typically lead with the lower priced item. You certainly don't have to, though. When you go to create your product, you can set it up so that you actually send people to just the gold variant. All you need to do is visit one of your products. So let me see if I can demonstrate this real quick. See if I can demonstrate it on this one. So see how we've got the white gold and the yellow gold. So if I click the yellow gold here, the variant URL should change. So big money, no Miamis. There you go. See how it automatically changed for me? So if you just go to your product and you click on your yellow gold, it will give you a variant URL up here, and then you can just run that in your ads. And when people come to your product page, they'll be taken to the yellow gold variant of your particular product. Whoa, lots of questions here. Let's keep going. Do you find Christmas backgrounds do well with jewelry? Experiment. Anything to stop the scroll. That's the goal. You want to stop the scroll in your ads. That's the number one goal. Real mahogany. It is not real mahogany. It is mahogany style. So we're being very clear about the copy that we use when we sell the box. It's a nice freaking box, though. It looks really, really nice. You'll be excited when you see the images. I experimented with this box. I took a product that was $49.95, sold it with the box as a standalone, and I was able to sell it for $69.95 with just the box upgrade. So it's going to be big. It can really, really increase your average order values. Facebook ads are getting more and more difficult as time goes on. CPMs go up. There's more competition in the space. Having those higher AOVs is going to be huge. In fact, Joe Robert talks about this a lot for all the Joe Robert fans in the audience. Can message cards be personalized when selling the platform? Not yet. We're working on that. Not yet. It's coming, though. Do you have videos for us to use? I believe we have a few, but you can also, if you have a product that becomes a winner, you can reach out to our team and we'll make a video for you for like $10 or something like that. We don't make any money on it. It's just a service we provide to our sellers. And it's a real nice video. It kind of, if I remember right, the box kind of sits on a pedestal, rotates around. There's some dramatic lighting. It looks really, really good. Okay, let's keep going here. So let's get into kind of the steps here for getting started. Some of these are going to be obvious for anybody that's been around for a while, but for new people, this could be really beneficial here. So step number 1, sign up for ShineOn.com. This one's a no-brainer. I highly recommend start on a platform. Do not graduate from the platform until you've sold $25,000 in revenue on the platform. This is what I recommend everybody do because you need to learn the ropes before you move on to a Shopify store. Shopify stores can be very complicated to make work. Like I said, there's just a lot of additional variables you have to worry about when you're doing a Shopify store. The platform, though, boils all of that down to just 2 variables, the design and the ad. So I highly recommend start on the platform, stay on the platform until $25,000 in revenue. All right, so that's step number 1. Step number 2, pick 2 niches to focus on. So I highly recommend as well, don't jump around from niche to niche to niche to niche. Pick 2 niches that are doing well for other sellers and then focus on those. Yes, you want to pick niches that are doing well for other sellers. that means the niche is validated. It means there are buyers in that niche, right? If you pick some real obscure niche like ballerina, moms of ballerina daughters or something like that, you don't even know if there are buyers there, right? To be had. You're pigeonholing yourself, right? And you're limiting your abilities to succeed here. So my recommendation is do your kind of research, look around to see who's having success, and then go into those same niches. So if you see the romance niche doing well and it appeals to you, go after the romance niche. See the daughter niche doing good, go after the daughter niche. Go after these niches where you already know people are having success. My recommendation is you pick 2 niches to focus on in the beginning and try to master those niches. Learn what phrases and things like that those niches respond to. And the only way you're going to learn that over time is by staying around, sticking into a single niche, testing a bunch of different products. There's this thing out there that says, what is it? Like it takes 10,000 hours master something, but like I don't really think that's true. I think what it really takes is 10,000 iterations to master something, right? This is just kind of my opinion. So when you stick to 1 or 2 niches, you get more iterations with that niche. You're testing designs, seeing what works, seeing what fails, seeing what works. You figure out kind of what starts to resonate with the niche, and then you hone your skills. You get better and better and better as time goes on. So highly recommend pick 2 niches, stick to those. Don't jump all over the place. Pick niches that you already know are having success. Now let's talk a little bit about your niches. So I kind of recommend, this is going to be, I go for fairly large niches, right? So I kind of start with family. Family's too broad of a niche, right? So family, that's too broad. However, hanging off of this, you have moms, you have husbands, you have wives, you have daughters, and you have granddaughters, stepdaughters, grandparents. I mean, like you've got all kinds of stuff in family, godparents. I mean, there's a lot of them. I'd recommend just pick 2 of those kind of offshoots and stick to those. Now, if you're still feeling a little bit stuck on which 2 to pick, I'd recommend maybe lean towards the niches you already know, right? So if you're already a brother, if you're already a sister, if you're already a husband, if you're already a parent, like maybe lean towards some niches because it's going to help you when you're doing your product research and things like that. It'll kind of help you develop and create your products because you'll have some insider knowledge, so to speak, onto what makes those niches tick. So Roberta Brooks says, where do I sign up for the ShineOn platform? Go to ShineOn.com. ShineOn.com. Up in the top right corner, you're going to see a button where you can create an account. ShineOn.com or Roberta Brooks. Okay. So again, from Roberta. So do you have a Shopify store? You previously said no. I'm confused. Yeah. So I do have a Shopify store. I also sell on the platform. I do a lot of different things. A part of the reason I do that is because everybody knows who I am and everybody's spying on my products all the time. And I have to do some things to shake the heat off of me. Right. So I literally, I joke about this, but there's some top sellers out there that literally taunt me by sending me screenshots of products that I'm testing and things like that. If you don't have this problem, kudos to you because it's funny, but slightly annoying. So I do have Shopify stores. I do have the platform, but I'll tell you this. I've been working my butt off inside of ShineOn. The whole team has to make the platform as good as it can possibly be. And that's not only from marketing angle where, we're trying to optimize the funnel and get all the copy right and coming up with that kind of stuff. But I mean, right down to our dev team, really thinking about how to make the platform as fast as it can possibly be. And the dev team is constantly running audibles for all the weird ideas we're cooking up. So, I mean, the entire team, it's a huge team effort over here to make the platform as powerful as we possibly can. I will tell you, as the platform has kind of matured, especially over the last 3 or 4 months, I've been selling more and more on the platform because it's just gotten so good. And I mean that. The other thing is you can take advantage of ShineOn's free retargeting by using the platform as well. A lot of the sales you saw from my dashboard a minute ago, not all of them, but a lot of those are coming from ShineOn's free retargeting because I have so many products uploaded to the platform. You get to take advantage of that for free. So I highly recommend, if you're new, you got to start on the platform. You can graduate to a Shopify store later after $25,000 in sales, but you should stay on the platform until you get there. Hope that clears that up for you, Roberta. All right, we're going to keep going. Has someone ever done 1 million on the platform? Yes. Yes. There are some big fish in the waters we're swimming in, people. Okay, let's keep going here. So, pick 2 niches to focus on. Number 3, do product research with emphasis. See what I did there? Okay. Okay. So after you pick your niches, you want to do product research. So I just made a video last week called 10+2 free product research methods, where I go over a bunch of different research methods that I've used personally in the past. This goes from everything from Amazon to eBay to Etsy to looking on AliExpress, Alibaba, using Google Images, looking at other Shopify sites, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a ton of free product research methods that you can do. But after you find your 2 niches, go look around for products selling well in your niches. So for example, I'm just going to go over to Etsy. Now, everybody recommends Etsy. So again, highly recommend, go look at my product research video that I put up last week to try to get some more ideas. Let's just type daughter necklace here. If my niche were daughter, boom, I have a plethora of ideas right here. I can go around, I can look at these ones that got bestseller on them. I can look at the phrases. I can try to get a feeling for what is resonating with my particular niche so that I can start coming up with phrase ideas. That's what you want to do, right? The other thing you need to remember, especially in a product, and I've got a ton of videos on this, guys, so if you're new, definitely go back through my old videos. You want to pay special attention to the phrase. I tell everybody, I'm going to have to apologize. I believe it was a lady named Nicole or Mary said it's the phrase that pays. And I agree with this wholeheartedly. What I usually put a spin on that, I would say, if they cry, they'll buy. What you want to do is find a phrase that resonates with people emotionally. If you can do that, you can get them to buy your product. So when you're doing your product research, become a student of the phrase, not just the design, not just the layout, become a student of the phrase. It's the phrase that pays. If they cry, they'll buy. You need to write that down. You need to remember that. After you have done some product research, you want to identify 5 to 10 phrases. The more, the better, right? And these are all phrases from your product research. There's different ways you can do this. A lot of times your phrases are in the public domain and you can just kind of use the same phrase. I like to do what I call Franken phrases, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to fully illustrate this here, but basically what you do is you'll have, phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, right? And then what I'll do is I will literally grab like maybe this from phrase 1 and maybe this from phrase 2 and maybe, I don't know, this from phrase 3, and I bring them all over here and I put them in one kind of Franken phrase, is what I like to call it, right? And it allows me to take what I think is making certain phrases work, and I kind of put them together into one kind of unique original phrase that nobody has seen before. I call this Franken phrases. TM because it's awesome. So highly recommend, when you pick your 2 niches and you're doing a bunch of research, you need to pay special attention to the phrase. It's the phrase that pays. When you're new, a lot of people get totally hung up on the design side of things, where they're wanting to make sure the design is amazing and all that kind of stuff. And the design can hurt you if there's too much there, if it's too loud, if it's distracting from the phrase, or offensive to the user. And by offensive, I don't mean like offended in the political sense, or the political sense, I suppose. I mean where like it's a husband to wife phrase and you've got a picture of a girl with blonde hair with the guy with black hair and a jacket. That may not work, because what if the couple that you're trying to sell the product to, the girl has dark hair or brown hair? Like those little things you don't think about can put off your buyer. You want them to be able to identify with the phrase. And the best way to do that is to keep things kind of abstract and generic in terms of the design itself. You want your phrase to stand out. You want your phrase to pop. All right, let's look at some of the questions here real quick. If you have any questions here, I want you to ask them as I go over the material. It'll be the easiest way for me to kind of see them, and I'll just pause at the end of each section and go looking back through the questions. Amanda is the one that says the phrase that pays. Amanda. Sorry, I quote you all the time and I forget who to attribute it to. So for all of posterity here, it's Amanda that came up with that. All right. Design can be a busy business. Yep, 100%. Okay. We're going to keep going here. Ask your questions here as I kind of run through this, and I'll answer them as we go. All right. So sign up for the platform. Pick 2 niches to focus on. Do your product research with special attention to the phrase. Identify 5 to 10 phrases. Now, number 5, create your first 5 designs. 5 to 10 designs. This can be super, super easy. So easy, I'm going to demonstrate it for you here. So you can hire a designer, right? You can do this in the ShineOn graphic design group. Just search in Facebook for ShineOn graphic design. You can also go to Upwork. You can go to Fiverr, or you can do it yourself using Photoshop or Canva. I like Canva because Canva is a free tool, super easy to use. All you do is go to create design, do custom size. It needs to be a square. I'm doing 2,000 by 2,000 pixels. However, if you're on the platform, when you go into one of your products here, if you click create product, it'll tell you how big the artwork needs to be right here. You can see this needs to be 1,000 by 1,000 pixels minimum, but it needs to be square. That's the important part here. So then after I figure that out, I will come in here and I will just start playing around. So I like these kind of dark backgrounds. They're kind of working right now. So when it comes to what color you should make your background, I like to zig when everybody else zags. It's kind of what I say. So if I see a bunch of people using light colored backgrounds, then I'll try dark ones. If I see a bunch of people using dark backgrounds, I'll go with light ones. The idea is you just kind of want to do something a little different than what everybody else is doing. I'm just going to grab kind of that right there. Got kind of a purple going on. Do some text, add a heading to my daughter. I think probably what I'm going to do, something like that. And then I'll do 2 out of the way. Hey, if this is helpful, let me know in the chat. Is this helpful to everybody? Give me a big old yes with a bunch of exclamation points if this is helpful in the chat. This is stuff. It's definitely geared towards folks that are newer. That's intentional today. I'm sure we've had a lot of new people join us, especially as Q4 is kind of kicking off. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting the help that you need. So if this was helpful, give me a yes in the chat. So I'll do something like this to my daughter. Now I could change up the fonts, but when I first get started on this, I always like to kind of keep it simple. I like to kind of block in where I want everything to be, and then I get kind of fun with it. So to my daughter. Also, when you're doing your phrases, one thing I guess I forgot to mention here, let me jump back over to my board, is you always want to make sure you're using the greeting card format. So you want it to be to and then from on the phrases. And if you'll notice, that's kind of what I'm starting to build here in Canva. I got to my daughter, and then at the bottom, I'm going to have kind of a salutation type part. So let's just do this. Drag that down. Now I need a phrase to put here. Now I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing my normal phrase research. I'm just going to grab one real quick. So I've already got some stuff up here. Let's just find one. Mother and daughter. It's a special bond that spans the years through the laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. A sense of trust that can't be broken. A depth of love, sometimes unspoken. A lifelong friendship built on sharing hugs and kisses, warmth and caring. Mother and daughter. Their hearts as one, a link that can never be undone. I like this one. It's a little bit long. I'm going to try to play with it. The other thing that's going to need to be adjusted on this one is it's written kind of in the third person. Notice how it's like mother and daughter instead of to my daughter. So I'm going to have to alter that just a little bit here. Let me see what I can do. Bear with me here a sec, guys. So it's a special bond that spans the years through laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. A sense of trust that can't be broken. A depth of love sometimes unspoken. A lifelong friendship built on sharing, hugs and kisses, warmth and caring, mother and daughter, their hearts as one, a link that can never be undone. This one is quite wordy, so we're definitely going to trim this up. Kirsta, who is a big six-figure seller with ShineOn, has thrown in a tip here. He says you can do 2 hour if you want to target families like love mom and dad. So, for example, 2 hour daughter is what he's saying. Love mom and dad. So it's a great idea. Okay, let's do this. All right, so I've got my phrase now. I'm going to jump back over to Canva, and this is going to be a little bit messy, but we'll get through it, guys. Okay, so here's my phrase. Bear with me. There we go. Just kind of resizing this thing. Okay, well, we're going to mess with this. So to my daughter, just hang on, we'll play with this. I'm going to put our relationship is a special bond that spans through the years, through laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. Notice it rhymes, and I kind of want to accentuate that in the phrase. So I'm going to kind of be specific with how I kind of lay out the actual words. Let me see if I can make this just a hair bigger. I'll make this even a little larger here as we go, but our relationship is a special bond that spans the years through laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. Excuse me. A sense of trust that can't be broken, a depth of love sometimes unspoken. A lifelong friendship built on sharing, hugs and kisses, warmth and sharing. Hugs and kisses, warmth and caring. Mother and daughter, hearts in one, a link that cannot be undone. Okay, this feels awfully big to me, like and quite wordy, but it actually looks like it's kind of going to fit. I wonder what would happen if we just got rid of this. Our relationship is a special bond that spans the years through laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. A lifelong friendship built on sharing, hugs and kisses, warmth and caring. Mother and daughter, our hearts as one. A link that can never be undone. How about that? You like that? I kind of like removing that kind of chunk in the middle because it's not so wordy anymore. Also, that part I removed didn't quite have the same kind of emotional impact as the rest of this. So now we're just going to put something simple. I'll just put, or let's see, love your mom. Center that up. And guys, when you actually make one of these, you can spend time making, like choosing some different fonts and things like that. I'm trying to illustrate how this would work. And also, this is actually not too bad using all of Canva's default kind of stuff. I'm not kidding. This could probably get some sales. Kirsta would back me up on this. I know he's a fan of Canva, and it really doesn't take much. It's the phrase that pays. It's the phrase that pays. Okay, let's just real quickly. I want to add some like kind of floral decal element stuff in here. Just something simple to kind of make it look nice and pretty. I'm really not sure I like that. See if there's something I can do with this. I don't think that's going to work. Maybe something like right there, maybe. So, over here, flip. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not a super big fan of this. I mean, the item will fall nicely here in the center, I think, kind of, and be like hugged by the ornaments. But I don't know, man. Canva is all you need. For me, the text is small, though. Yeah, it is. That's actually a really good point. Probably need to blow that up, don't I? And, you know, Curse brings up a good point, too, because this is definitely the crap you got to worry about when you're actually running ads. Like, if you're paying money, every little kind of detail here needs some attention. You really need to make sure this is going to look great. Even this probably could use some work and like the formatting and maybe even the font. Like, it might be better to go with the font where I can do all caps or something like that. But at any rate, it is what it is, Kirsta. Okay. I think this is halfway decent. Let's get those to line up here. Okay. So I look good and symmetrical. Now, we may have to tweak this a little bit more once we get this thing saved. Let me download that. Okay. So we're going to create our first product here. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Which product should we create here? Anybody have any favorites out there? What product should we create? So it's a mother-to-daughter product. So interlocking is good. Infinity hearts is good. Sweetest hearts. The little hand stamp thing is pretty good. The giraffe is really good. The giraffe is not going to fit super well with my design, though, because it's so tall. Sheila says a giraffe. Of course, the first option. Infinity. Everybody wants a giraffe. This isn't going to work super well at the draft because if you look at the design, the giraffe is going to fall right on top of the phrase, and that's kind of a no-no. Richard says interlocking hearts. I might go with Richard just because I like interlocking hearts. Tracy said love knot. Let's do the love knot. It's kind of pretty. Okay. All right. So for this part, just for the upload, I am not going to show that to you. Hang on. We'll come right back to that. Okay. So there's our design. Looks decent. Again, I made this in 10 minutes, guys. So, you know. Whoa. That looks pretty good. I kind of want to bring daughter up a little bit just so it's not being covered up by the chain, but it's not too bad. It just, personally, I probably would go back and fix this, but this actually looks pretty freaking good. Let's read this phrase one more time just to make sure we don't have any typos or anything like that. Our relationship is a special bond that spans the years through laughter, worry, smiles, and tears. A lifelong friendship built on sharing, hugs and kisses, warmth and caring. Mother and daughter, our hearts as one, a link that can never be undone. Love, your mom. I think this looks pretty good. All right, so call this one To My Daughter. I'll run some ads to this too, by the way. Not right now. I can't get in my ad account live on the stream, but I can certainly this week maybe run some ads to this. To My Daughter, and I'll just call this one. I usually like to reiterate the punchline kind of in the title. So hearts is one. It's probably a good one. And then I'm just going to call it necklace. So look, this is how I like to do my titles. You can do a bunch of different things here. You can use your titles as headlines. You can use it to drive urgency or scarcity, to emphasize your offer. There's all kinds of things you can do with the title. This is just how I like to do it. I like to put who it's to. I like to put the punchline of the phrase, and then I like to put the product category. In this case, it's a necklace. Now, for the actual product copy, whenever I'm testing, I just leave what ShineOn gives us right out of the gate. And then for the price, I also always leave the price right at what ShineOn gives us here. Now, notice my base cost, you know what, I'm on the highest pricing tier. Your base cost is going to be a little bit lower. However, you're going to be able to do at least a 3.5 times markup, 3.5 times markup on all these products right out of the gate. Some of these will even have a 4 to 5 times markup. So the margins on these products, it sure beats the crap out of what you get on selling t-shirts or something else. Okay. So you could add your Facebook pixel right here. If you have a special pixel that you want in the daughter niche, you could add that right here. You can add your Google Analytics ID if you have a special one right here. We're going to select our niche. We're going to choose gift for daughter. And this is optional. I'm not going to fill it out for this one. And now you can put your URL handle right here. And I'm just going to put, I like small, clean URL handles. There's all kinds of stuff you can do here. I don't know that there's any real rhyme or reason to it, but I think the big thing is you don't want one that's super, super long. What I like to do is I like to kind of abbreviate my title and everything. So I'm going to put TMD for To My Daughter. By the way, this is something I just made up on the fly one day. There's probably better ways to name your URL handle. This is just what I've done. And I'm going to put TMD and I'll put like hearts. There, good, happy. All right, now I'm going to click publish. Look at that too. See this mock-up here with the, oh, that's looking good. We're going to come do the mock-ups here in just a second. We're going to let that load for a minute. So it takes a second because the products go into a queue, and then it'll take maybe a minute or two for it to publish. Sometimes a little bit longer, especially during peak hours, but usually within a few minutes, it's out. So let's go over some questions here, if there are any, while I wait for that. Alluring Beauty would look great on the purple. Love Knot looks pretty good too. Good to know I have not gone in to look at the draft yet. The draft is beautiful. It's a big item. So you got to put your phrase on the left, right, and then kind of at the bottom on it. All right, let's go see if our product is ready yet. There are some questions in here. I will come back to these here in just a little bit. All right, let's go to the product. There it is. Okay, here's my product. The mock-ups here are going to be sweet. So first of all, this one here with the purple ribbon is pretty freaking cool. I didn't plan that. It just came out that way, but I'll show you guys the rest of them. So if I click add more images right here, it's going to show you a bunch of additional mock-ups. And if I click load more, it shows you all the mock-ups we have available for this particular product. Now, if I click render all, it'll actually go in and it will add your artwork to all of the mock-ups. You can kind of see what it would look like in the actual mock-up. Now, I will tell you, I've kind of changed my thoughts on what I think are the best kind of images to have. I've been going with simple images and only a few of them as opposed to many. So what I kind of like to do is go with two kind of mock-ups with the message card and then one standalone of the actual product itself. So on this one, for example, I'm probably going to get rid of this one. Now, the reason I do this, it's kind of twofold. One, I think the page loads a little bit faster. And two, I just feel like people can kind of get lost shopping around the mock-ups. This is pure theory on my part. It's just what I've been doing, and it's been working well for me. I'm going to get rid of this one too, even though I love that purple ribbon in the background. It looks really good. Get rid of that one. I'm going to rearrange what I've got here. So I'm going to bring this kind of dramatic black one into the middle. So it's right here now. So now I've got this kind of standard like vertical one kind of in the front. Then I have this more dramatic one is image number 2. Then I have a picture of the necklace hanging over the fingers for number 3. And then for my default, I want this one. So I'm actually going to run ads. Let me show this to you in the store. I'm going to run my ads with this image here. The reason I do that is because I did a poll recently on this image here. Now, this image here has worked for me pretty well in the past. It's got this dramatic kind of look and feel to it, and there's shadows hanging over it, and it's good, and you can make sales with this. I've done it before. There are a lot of people I know that have. However, I've been testing with this one, and it's doing pretty well in my tests. And here's what I think is going on, but I'm not certain. I ran a poll. Well, one day I was just, in the course of my day, doing work on ShineOn, and I just noticed that every time I came to this particular image, I'd tilt my head to read it. And it got me wondering, like, if everybody does that. So I did this poll, and I asked people if they have to tilt their head when they read this. And about 50% of the people came back and said yes, and some people didn't. Now, I don't know that this has anything to do with anything, okay? Like I said, I have made sales with this particular mock-up. I know many people that do really well with it. However, I got to thinking about it, and I was like, if you are in the older age bracket, like let's say you're selling a product that's to granddaughters, for example. If you're in the older age bracket and maybe your eyesight is faded and you're wearing reading glasses or something, and you see this product and you have to tilt your head to read it, you might be shooting yourself in the foot by using this particular mock-up. So I have started to opt for this one, and I haven't seen no dip in sales or anything like that. This is just one that I've been going for. So I definitely recommend, though, if you're new starting out, you need to go with this one or this one for your ads. This one looks real dramatic. It raises the perceived value of the item. Probably fantastic for like your romance niches and things like that. I tend to prefer this one, especially for like the gifts to granddaughters and things like that. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Cursed, that mock-up is the best. Well, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, buddy. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Look, there's many ways up the mountain, right? So different things will work. It depends on your niche and your design and all kinds of things here. Alan, hope I'm saying your name right. It says the black one's your favorite. Super helpful. Thank you. At least one person is getting benefit from this. Kirsta also forces someone to stop the scroll and tilt the head. That's a good point too. I mean, it's a good counterpoint that if they have to tilt their head, they're definitely not scrolling on the screen. That's definitely a good point. Okay, let's keep going here. So it's this simple to make a product. Now I'm going to show you something really cool. I think it's really cool anyway. We worked for 3 months to come up with a really great conversion rate optimized mobile page. Now keep in mind, most of your traffic coming from Facebook is mobile. Most of our conversions on ShineOn.com are from mobile. So we spent a ton of time optimizing our mobile page. Now look at this. I'm telling you, we spent probably 3 months on this. We changed the color of our call to action buttons. We made sure the images above the fold are all square, right? So that the text and all that kind of stuff isn't flying all over the place. We have the reviews right here underneath the images. We have the title. We have the price. We have how much the user saves. We have this giant green call to action button so that the user knows exactly what we want them to do when they come to our product page. We have the trust seals here, which are these credit card icons. We have a little urgency call to action kind of thing. And then we have some benefits with icons right here underneath. And then we get into the product description itself. And we're still working to optimize this page. This page alone resulted in a 25 or 30% uplift in our conversions. And notice all of this is above the fold when you hit this on your iPhone. So, I mean, this thing is awesome. I was super pumped about this. Like I said, it's resulted in an increase in conversions platform-wide. We're talking, across our platform, we're talking thousands and thousands of additional sales. So this has been a huge, huge win. And then notice too, as you scroll down, boom, the add to cart button becomes sticky. So wherever you're at on the page, if you want to add this to cart, you can add it to cart. The other thing that's really cool about this is we now have one-page checkout. So if I click there, boom, it takes me to the cart reserved for 10 minutes, shows me how much you saved. I got these 2 giant green buttons here that, again, it increase the number of people that go from cart to checkout page. Now, if I click here and it takes me to the checkout page, boom, I have got a 1-page checkout here. This is all conversion rate optimized. I could continue going over this, but guys, the platform is where it's at. If I haven't talked you out of using a Shopify store now, what is the matter with you? Because the platform is where it is at. Okay, now let's go back to our list here for all our folks getting started. So create first 5 or 10 designs. Upload them to the platform. 7. Let's see. Pick 2 testing methods and stick to them. We're going to go over testing now. So I am very simple when it comes to my testing methods. There's a lot of different ways to do it. This is just what I kind of prefer. So I use very simple testing methods. One of my favorites, and I literally do this every single day. I have one ABO camp with and then I run 5. All right, I'm drawing. I just don't have the patience for that. 5 ad sets, right? These are all $5 a piece. And I run these. This is the way I'm doing it. I'm running these to my best audience, right? So I know my best audience because I run tests all the time. You may not know your best audience. You may have to guess in the beginning, and that's okay. But like if you're going after married, well, then obviously married is probably an interest that you want to target. And then you can layer in some secondary interests based on the demographics you think will buy your product. If you think the demographic that buys your product is people who maybe can't afford diamonds, for example, maybe they're lower middle class type people or something like that, then think of some other interests those people might share. Like they'll probably shop at Walmart or Target, but they're probably not shopping at Gucci, for example. So layer in those secondary interests so you can narrow this large married interest down to people who may be more interested in your product. I call this putting bumper lanes on your targeting. So anybody that's bowled before would know that, you know, when little kids go bowl, they're throwing gutter balls all the time. They have these weak little arms and they go to throw a bowling ball and it gets in the gutter and goes all the way down and miss all the pins. So they come out with these bumper lanes or these inflatable lanes so that when little kids throw the ball down the aisle, it kind of ping pongs all around until it hits some pins at the bottom. So it keeps the ball from going in the gutter. That's what you're doing with your primary and secondary interests, especially if you're new and starting out and your pixel's not optimized. You want to have a primary interest, which is the no-brainer one, right? Like married, if you're in the romance space. And then your secondary interest is the one where it's kind of your bumper lanes to kind of narrow it a little bit more. So for example, Walmart and Target, because you're trying to narrow it by demographic at that point. And if you know your people are lower middle class, you want to target things you know lower middle class people may share an interest in. But anyway, so this is one ABO camp. ABO stands for ad set budget optimization. Then you're going to have $5 ad sets. You're going to have 5 of these right here. So $5 ad sets. And then hanging off of each of them, you're going to have your best ad. Now, guys, I know you're going to be going, what's my best ad? Well, I would start with the image. Let's see, where was it? I'd start with an image like this one or the other one that was more dramatic, this black one right here. And I would put some ad copy that you have seen work on other ads, right? So I like to use very simple ad copy. I usually do some emojis. I'll say, hey, would your wife love to get this from you? And then I put, well, grab yours here. And I put a link. I literally keep it that simple. When I'm testing, I recommend you do something similar. So this is testing method number 1 that I like to do. Testing method number 2 that is kind of working for me right now is I do one CBO campaign at $30 a day. It can be $25 a day. It doesn't, the budget on this one, 25 or $30 is not going to make that big a difference. And then I have my 3 ad sets. All my ad sets have are going to my best interest. So they're duplicates of each other. And then hanging off of each ad set, I have my best ad. So again, it's similar to how I run the other one. I run my 3 ads to my 3 ad sets to the best interest. These are the 2 that are my go-to, guys. I particularly have been leaning towards this one quite a bit. This one's working really well for me. This is my go-to, right? So after you get your designs made, I highly recommend pick 1 or 2 testing methods, stick to the testing methods and test like this. Now, the reason I say stick to the testing methods is because 90% of the time, if your test fails, it's because your product sucks, okay? You need to try a new product. And by product there, I mean your design. Your design plus phrase. That's what I mean by product, right? Chances are your phrase sucks. That's really what it kind of comes down to. So if you're not getting purchases, your phrase probably sucks, right? So what you need to do is go back and get a new phrase. Don't change your testing method. It has nothing to do with the ad method, and more than likely has to do with your product. Now, guys, I can say this is basically a fact because I use this method literally every single day, and I'm getting sales on it. The method is not broken, right? If you can't get sales, it more than likely has to do with your product. I'd say 90% of the time it has to do with the product. All right, let's see if there are any questions here. Call to action button is nice. Dang, Skippy. Should we just do ads for mobile? I use auto placements, and Facebook will usually spin towards mobile anyway. I like auto placements, keeps my CPMs a little bit low. I haven't experimented with manual placements in 3 or 4 months, so maybe they've changed some things, and it might be worth testing again, but I like auto placements. My Facebook account keeps getting closed after publishing the products. Any tips on how to write the text? Look, sometimes this is, if you have a new ad account, Facebook is going to be particularly sensitive to it. Plus, you have COVID-19 going on. You have the election going on. they're freaking out, right? It's like DEFCON 1 with these guys. So you just, unfortunately, everybody is dealing with this right now. All I can recommend is appeal the decision, be polite, be respectful when you do it, and chances are they'll give it back to you. Loving the conversion rate optimization on the page. Thanks, Ricky. I freaking love it too. And we're just getting started. That's a cool thing. Is that done on Shopify or the ShineOn platform? All conversion rate optimization you saw is on the platform. But however, we're going to, after we kind of get that thing good and packaged up, we're going to try to push it to Shopify stores. Probably not the one-page checkout, but we'll try to do the rest. Michael Chris, ads keep getting shut down. How do you write the ads? Well, look, it probably doesn't have to do with how you're writing them. Seriously, it's probably a new ad account. Maybe you're increasing the spend too quickly. If you're not from the United States and you're running ads to the United States, that's a whole other kind of area of sensitivity for Facebook, and they kind of pick up on all that. So my biggest recommendation is be polite, be respectful, appeal the ad, and chances are you're going to get it back. Now that you mentioned most of our sales will be on mobile, but you still suggest to leave the ads location on auto, wouldn't it be better to publish only on mobile? Look, you can experiment with it. See what it does to your CPMs. I still run auto because my CPMs stay low. It also depends a little bit on your niche. Grandparents, people that are retired, they're more likely going to be probably on a desktop than a phone. So you just got to think through some things like that. Here's an easy thing to do though. Run it on auto, and then after you get some purchases, go look at a breakdown of your purchases and see which devices and operating systems most of your purchases are coming in, and then change your targeting based on that. All right, we're going to have to get moving pretty quick here. I'm thinking maybe I misheard Michael earlier. He designed a custom card, purple one, and was talking about putting it on the platform. I thought earlier it was said you can't do custom cards on the platform yet. You can do personalized ones. So where somebody writes like, rather than to my daughter, they specifically write like to Elisa, to Jennifer, to Heather, that kind of thing. That's not on the platform yet. It's coming though. Your custom design like Michael did can go on the platform. Thanks for trying to help me out there, Richard. Okay. All right. I want to make sure that we have time to get to Q&A and some of the other stuff I said I would cover. So let's keep going here. All right. So this is everything. Where are we at? This is everything to kind of get started, guys. Right here. It's the phrase that pays. Okay. So shine up at ShineOn.com. Pick two niches to focus on. Do product research with special attention on the phrase. Identify 5 to 10 phrases. Create your first 5 or 10 designs. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do that. Upload them to the platform. Pick 2 testing methods and stick to them. I'm going to run some tests on this particular product, maybe hopefully this week. And hopefully, if I can get around to this, I'll report back how those products did in the group. Okay, so the other 2 things I said I was going to focus on, 2 or 3 things. Ramping up and dirt simple retargeting. Okay, let's talk about ramping up. So what is ramping up? First of all, everybody's going to ask. So you start with testing, and then over here is scaling. This spot kind of here in the middle, I call ramping up. Now, one thing I should probably point out is that this phase here is actually relatively small. It will last maybe a little bit longer than testing. But if you have a product and it's successful, you're going to spend most of your time right here in scaling, okay? Ramping up is just how you get from testing to scaling safely. That's kind of the goal of ramping up. Now, all right, so how do you ramp up? Well, here's kind of what I recommend. So first of all, stay in testing until 10 sales. And you want these sales to be profitable or at least break even, okay? So don't change anything. If your testing method is getting you some sales, don't go try a bunch of wildly different things. Kind of hang out, stick in your testing, and try to get to 10 sales either profitably or break even, okay? After testing and you get to 10 sales at break even, here is what I've been doing that's kind of working for me. I do campaign, then I'll do 10. So this is an ABO campaign. I'll do 10 $100 ad sets like that. Now, you're probably freaking out because you're going, wow, that's $1,000 in ad spend. Well, Not exactly, because the thing is, I'm going to be watching all of these ad sets like a hawk, and any of them that don't perform, I turn them off. So what I typically do is I'll put like something like, if no view contents by $2 spend, I turn it off. So I literally just come to the ad set and I'll just turn it off. No add to cart. Now this number changes quite a bit. Sometimes I do 10, 12, 15, 17 bucks, whatever. And it kind of depends on how well it tested for me, like how well I got to these 10 sales. I will turn off the ad set. Let's just put 15 just for safe measure here. If I have no add to cart by 15 bucks, I turn off the ad set, right? And then if I have no purchase, and again, this number kind of varies by how well it tested, but if I have no purchase by, like, let's say $25, just hypothetically, then I come back and I turn the ad set off. I will do this for several days in a row. I'll do it for like 2 to 5 days, trying to see if I can get this sucker dialed in. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You kind of got to play around with it. Now you can get way more complex in this, right? But I like to keep things simple and scalable because I'm doing 10 tests a week right now. So this is kind of my existing method, and this is working for me pretty well. So this is kind of how I do it. So my ramping up process looks like this right here. Okay. I moved to one ad set budget optimization campaign with 10 $100 ad sets. And then I very aggressively manage them based on kind of this rule set right here. And typically you do not spend $1,000 a day, right? It's usually much, much less than that, unless you get a bunch of ad sets with purchases. And I promise you, the closer we get to Christmas, you're going to start, it just gets much, much easier. It's like stealing candy from a baby the closer we get to Christmas. All right. So that's ramping up. Let's talk about dirt simple retargeting. If you guys have questions, start putting your questions in the chat because we're getting really close to Q&A. And I want to make sure we've got some good stuff to go over. All right, let's talk about retargeting here. So for retargeting, I use dirt simple retargeting. Now, again, you can get super complex with your retargeting, guys. This isn't the only way to do it by any means. I use dirt simple retargeting. So one thing to think about here is, like, when it comes, look, I've done agency stuff before from a digital marketing perspective. And I will tell you, with agency stuff, you get way more complicated in this because you're building avatars and profiles and you're coming up with different angles and you have new creatives that you're testing all the time and different interests, and you're doing day parting and you're parting by age and divide. Like, it's just, you're doing all this stuff. It's super complicated. This is like if a caveman were a digital marketer. This is the stuff that works with print on demand. Keeping it simple is like a law in print on demand, okay? And it also keeps that barrier to entry really low for new people. So all this stuff I'm showing you, you can make it as complicated as you want it to be, okay? I just like to keep things simple. Like I said, it's like caveman marketing is kind of how I think about it. So when it comes to retargeting, this is usually what I like to do. I like to make 2 audiences. So inside of Facebook, you can go to audiences, you can go to create custom audience, and I make an audience that's anybody that's viewed content in less than 7 days. And then I make another audience that's anybody that's purchased in less than, usually I do like 30 days on this one. And then for my retargeting, I literally throw both of these into a ad set. So I basically say, if they viewed content in less than 7 days, but they so what I do is sorry guys, in the ad set, when you're doing the targeting, up at the very top, there's like a custom targeting, I think is the name of the field. And so I will include this audience here. So I include this, and then I exclude this, right? So what I'm doing is I'm targeting anybody that's viewed content but didn't purchase. Literally, that's what I do. I mean, it's that simple, guys. And this is usually will do very well from a retargeting perspective. Now, you can do all kinds of stuff. Like I say, you can make this super complicated where you're like targeting people in less than 24 hours, between 2 to 5 days, between 6 and 10 days, between 11 and 15. I mean, like, and you can take people through an entire journey where they're seeing different ads and different creatives and you're answering objectives and trying to pull them in. I don't do that for this stuff. I literally keep it dirt simple. Again, it's caveman retargeting. That's what I like to do here. So I've talked about how to get started. I've talked about ramping up, and now you've got my dirt simple retargeting process here. Let's do some Q&A. So whatever questions you have, put them in the chat. Also, is this helpful? Let me know if this has been helpful for you. All right. Okay. So are those done by rules? Yes, I do. I like to use the rules, but I also kind of babysit them myself because the rules misfire from time to time. Facebook's a little weird, but yes, you can do it with the rules. Matt says, if your tests were really profitable, would you use tighter rules in ramping up? Yes, I would actually. The tighter the rules are in ramping up, I just find the more profitable you are with that section. By the way, it's the same with scaling. When you have a hot seller, you can be more strict with the rules and things like that. It just increases ROAS. I keep getting a sale within the first $5 and nothing. I will go on to double profit margins you suggested, and we'll get no more sales. Look, it's Facebook is a tease these days. I'm not real sure what to say. It's like they take you on a date and they pay for everything, but that's it. They just to get you the second date, right? So they take you on the first date, they pay for everything, and then they talk you into going to like a Michelin 3-star restaurant, but they want you to pay for that one. That's kind of what I feel like Facebook is doing anymore. All right. Do you mainly get your sales from cold audiences based on the ramping up process? Yeah, I do actually. I don't break into lookalikes or anything like that till I have 500 sales. And even then, I don't know, guys. I'm not a huge fan of lookalikes. That's probably a little unconventional for marketers. But the thing is by the time I want to use a lookalike audience, I'm scaling so fast, I will literally burn through it in like a day and a half. So I don't know. Lookalikes I have a weird love-hate relationship with those. Are the rules automated? Yes, I like to use Facebook's rules, but I kind of always treat them as a safety net. I still kind of eyeball my campaigns. This is spicy sauce. Why, thank you, Skylar. I knew you'd like it. Facebook user. Curious about this. What if you can't get it dialed in? First day goes fine, but then subsequent days keeps crapping in the bed. Well, it's probably an issue with your product. Don't keep chasing after a losing product. Guys, my personal opinion, I'd rather have amazing products I can scale or flat out dumpster fires. I do not like the products in the middle because they are time sucks. They will waste a ton of your time, money, energy, and focus because you're sitting there trying. It's like you're flirting with success and you're trying to get it to work and it just isn't going to work, right? But like that middle area is so dangerous. So for me personally, I like products that scale to the moon or just are absolute dumpster fires because those ones in the middle, they'll just spin your wheels on them. So at the end of the day, you might only be left with 2 or 3 ad sets. That is absolutely correct, Facebook user. All right. We explain the ad set cut from again. I don't understand no view content by $2 and turn off. Yeah, so Sheila, inside of Facebook, you can add rules. And so what I like to do is I create a rule. And also you can apply the rule manually too. You can just be the machine yourself. But you can make a rule where it says, if you've spent $2 and you've had no view content, then you can turn the ad set off. You can do that automatically. So, and also just in case you're unaware, I'm not sure how new you are, view content is a pixel event. So when somebody sees your ad and they click it and they go to your landing page, there are a bunch of events that can fire on your pixel. So one is called a page view event. Another one's called a view content event. If they click add to cart, then an add to cart event fires. If they go to checkout, potentially an initiate checkout event can fire. If they purchase, a purchase event can fire, that kind of thing. And that's what Facebook uses that data to help optimize your campaign. So view content is just one of those events. So what I like to do is I say, if I've got an ad set and I've spent more than $2 with no view content, I want to turn that ad set off. That's kind of what I do. And again, you can either set up a rule inside of Facebook to do that, or you can do it manually by kind of just being the machine yourself and eyeballing it. Keep the questions coming, folks. Can you set up the rules, no view content by $2 into Facebook Ads Manager? Is it manual? Yes, you can do it inside of Ads Manager. About ramping up, what's the difference between the 10 ad sets? Are they the same and only duplicate, or is everyone a different retargeting? I use duplicates personally because I'm trying to take what has worked for me in testing and then just amplify it a little bit. So whatever kind of worked for me in testing, I moved to ramping up. Now, for me personally, I kind of know what interests work for me pretty well. So like most of the time, those ad sets just end up being duplicates of one another because I'm not experimenting a lot at that stage. Okay. Facebook user. I think you can do in trust ads, but it's a very expensive tool. Yeah, so there are different tools that will help you automate the rules. You don't need them, though. You can set up rules right inside Ads Manager. They don't run super fast or even super reliably, but they're a good safety net nonetheless. Darnell, you can make the rules, but he usually watches his ads diligently. Yes, that's key. Amelia. Michael, after I spent 2 times break-even cost per purchase, I got a sale, so it wasn't profitable. Do I continue to test till I get my second purchase profitable? My pixel is new. I would personally, if I get 1 sale during testing, I kind of will keep messing around with that product and just see if I can get it to 10 sales, either profitably or break even. You can't always do it. If you're not profitable, hey, you're 2 times break even ad spend, that tells you to proceed with caution. It's not a red light, but it's not a green light either. It's a yellow light. It's kind of how I look at those. Why limit view content to only 7 days? Isn't it worth it to go further back than that for your retargeting? Yeah, I just find that the people that view content in the last 7 days are the hottest kind of audience, and I get my retargeting sales for really cheap. You can certainly expand that, but your cost per purchase may go up. My recommendation would be, if you're going to do that, have one audience and one campaign for view content less than 7 days, have a completely different one for view content between 7 and 14 days. That way you can kind of keep track of your cost per purchase in each and kill one if it's not profitable. Thank you so much on the retargeting. You got it, Michelle. A bunch of people said this was helpful. Thank you. Really appreciate the feedback, everybody. Very helpful. We'll go back and watch again. Thanks, JT. The ratings are the best. All right, let's keep going. Number 1, this has been game-changing. I never stood all of this until now. Thank you so much. You got it, Sheila. Will there be a replay of this? It should be in the Facebook group, and then we'll also put it in the YouTube channel. Richard, on the retargeting, do you go back with a, hey, you forgot X, or, hey, you can get the X product at $20 discount? That's a great question. I do. Here's what I'll typically do with my retargeting is I'll actually put 2 or 3 ads in the ad set. So I'll do one where it's like, psst, hey, you were checking out this product. Do you want to get it? Grab it today, save $20 or something like that. Sometimes I'll add another discount code. Sometimes I just run the first ad that they saw originally, but I'll put all those ads into one ad set, and then I'll let Facebook optimize on whichever one's working the best. Again, caveman marketing for this stuff. Caveman marketing. You can get super advanced after you get a bunch of sales, right? In the beginning, be a caveman when it comes to this. Link in the post or shop now button, which you prefer? I like shop now button plus a link in the post. All right, Velissi, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I know I'm saying your name wrong, actually. It's a certainty. I got 2 sales on $25 on an ad of $25 a day, reaches 1,000. Should I keep testing this ad, spend $20 so far? I got 2 sales on $25 a day. If you got 2 sales on $20 spend, you're profitable. Yes, stay with that one. Absolutely, keep testing on that one. And also, ignore your reach. Who cares? You got purchases. Again, caveman marketing. I get people all the time. They're like, what should my CPM be? What should my click-through rate be? What should my view content rate be? What should my unique click-through rate be? What should my ad card be? What should my just blah, 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 blah. It's like a never-ending stream of acronyms. And it's like when you're new, again, caveman marketing here. What's important? Your ROAS is probably the most important metric you can be paying attention to. Purchase conversion value and cost per purchase. Those 3 are probably your most important metrics to determine success. The other one you should probably pay attention to is amount spent. That's kind of important. You do want to make sure you got the money in the bank. However, I have the other stuff in my ads manager and I look at it, but guys, when you're starting out, don't confuse yourself with all the other stuff. Just ROAS is super important, and then kind of work your way backwards from there. If we create a new niche pixel and test, say, 5 products without good sales, should we dump the pixel and create a new one for testing? No, it's probably not your pixel. It's probably your product. I just keep testing products. This is the grind of this. The grind of print on demand is testing. That's where the work comes in. But great question, Elaine. I have a question. Being profitable in 3 days of testing, it's time to ramp up. Well, like I kind of laid out earlier, try to get to 10 sales and then move to ramping up. At what volume, Matt says, at what volume do you move from ramping up to scaling? Now, that's a good question. So as I ramp up, I start to scale horizontally and vertically. So if I'm doing good with my 10 $100 ad sets and I'm feeling kind of saucy, I'll move it to 20 $100 ad sets and then maybe 30 and then 40 and then or maybe what I'll do is after I have 20 $100 ad sets, I'll do 20 $150 ad sets. And I just kind of scale horizontally with more ad sets and vertically with deeper budgets. And before you know it, the line between testing and ramping up is pretty clear. The line between ramping up and scaling is much more blurred. You'll find that you're in scaling before you really even kind of recognize that you're there. So I hope that answers your question, Matt. All right. Mauricio, when you say testing, when reaching 2 times break even, ROAS not being profitable, do you mean keep testing new products with the same method or keep pouring money into existing ad set? When you're testing, if you do spend 2 times your break-even cost per purchase with no purchases, turn it off. If you have a purchase, like hang in there and see if you can get it to 10 purchases profitably or at break even. And if you can't, then dump it and go to a new product. I'm not sure I totally understood your question, so I hope that was helpful. Facebook user, Adrian De Silva, thanks for your response. By the way, special shout out to Adrian. He's always helping in the group, always helping in the live stream. So really appreciate having you in the community, bud. So thanks, dude. And also your enthusiasm for ShineOn it's great. So Sheila, retargeting question. So we put in our retargeting rules in our ad account. How does ShineOn retargeting work with our accounts? Oh, that's a great question. We do all of our own retargeting on our own, right? So whether you're doing retargeting or not, we are retargeting for you. You get all the money from those sales. Now, you can also do your own retargeting kind of in tandem. And I recommend everybody do this because if you have a product that takes off winning, we don't scale our budget with yours, right? So if you have a product that really starts doing well for you, currently today, we're not scaling our retargeting to match your winning product. Only you can do that. So our retargeting is more, it's like wholesale retargeting. It's generic, right? When you say you have your targeting dialed in, by the way, guys, we're going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. Could you share some interests that have performed particularly well for you? Well, unfortunately, it's difficult for me to share interest unless I know your niche because each niche has different interests. So I wish I could help with that. Also, I'm a little hesitant to share interests anyway because as soon as I do, everybody will be using those interests. And you kind of have to feel this out with your product. You need to gain some experience on your niche to kind of answer some of those questions. Aline, if we create a new niche pixel and test, say 5 products, I think I already answered that one. Really helpful. You got it right. Adrian rocks. Yes, he does. Rashawn, great. Had 12 on it. Thanks. Sometimes I get confused, but always get reminded. Yes. Dude, Rashawn, you are 1 product away. Go after it, man. If you got 12 purchases and you're profitable, go after it. And reach out to me. I'd love to help you. I'm super behind on my Facebook messages, but if you hit me up, I will do my best to help you out. Please like this post. Like the post that you're in. It'll help it kind of rise to the top kind of in the algorithm. I'm going to leave this post at the top of the page for a few days. Make sure you like this post. Also, if you're not on my mailing list, I have a special kind of marketing mailing list. I tell people about my lives. After this live stream, I'm going to make these notes available for download. If you want all that kind of stuff, you got to get on my mailing list. So in this post where you're watching the video up at the top, there should be a link where you can get on my mailing list. So make sure you do that, please. Thank you so much for showing up. You guys are the best. Happy selling. Get out there, do your research, test a bunch of products. Don't sit on the fence. It's going to be the biggest Q4 in our lifetimes. You're not going to want to miss it. All right. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Take care. What's up, everybody? Michael Christ here. I want to thank you so much for checking out today's video. Before you leave, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out all the links in the description below, particularly the link to register on ShineOn.com and also the link to our Facebook group where we are constantly sharing marketing tips and tricks to help you take your e-commerce game to the next level. So once again, I hope you enjoyed today's video and we'll see you in the next one.